Common website terminology by Oluwabi Adele Samson from Wikito.com. Before you start designing a website, it's important you understand the terms that are frequently used in the industry. Just like doctors have their terms, mechanics, engineers, lawyers, they have their terms. That is just the way it is in the web design industries. We have our terms. So if you want to understand the business in depth, you need to understand the meaning of these common terms that flies around in our day-to-day activities. If you are new to web designing, then you need to take your time and watch this video to the end. Very, very important. And this is because it contains all the common terms that we use in the web design industry. So let's get started. For easy understanding, I have put all these documents in an alphabetical order so that I'll be going through them one after the other, and I'll be showing you what they mean in real life so that you understand it when you see it in my training on how you can design a fully functional website in just 10 minutes. If you are interested in that video, make sure you also leave a comment in this video, this particular video you are watching, so that I know you are interested in the 10-minute website design video. Thank you. So let's go to the next slide. Accessibility simply means making your website available to people with disabilities. If you do not design your website for accessibility, people who have disability on their phone, people who are blind and they use phone to browse probably will not see your website because it is not accessible. So all website builds should follow guidelines outlined by American with Disability Act, that is ADA. The second term is alt tag. It is called alternative tag. It is also described as alternative description, which means when you put an image in your website, you need to put a description. Should in case someone with a weak data like Nigeria, where we don't have strong internet connection, is visiting the website and the image does not load on time, he or she can see the text that describe the image. For instance, if you have a website and you put your logo somewhere, you should give an alternative text that tells that that image that is loading is your logo. So once you upload the logo image, just put logo. So when the site is loading and it doesn't load fast, the text will come up first so that I will know, oh, this is a logo. And it's also beneficial to people who are blind so that their text reader can read what is there. You know they cannot see that it's an image, but because you have given it an alternative text, an alternative description, their text reader will read that this image that is loading is a logo. So they will know it's a logo. That is why that's also very important. It also helps in your SEO ranking. Do you understand? You will know the meaning of SEO as you are going on. Back end. Now, back end simply means the brain of your website. Let me put it that way. Now, if you have a website, the back end is like your administrative end. Do you understand? A place where things are done. Let me give another illustration. Like you have an office and you have an administrative office. In that administrative office, everything that happens in that your company happens in that administrative office. That is just the way it is with the back end. Back end is an admin section where the owner of the website goes in and do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to remove images, put logo, put post, you do it through the back end. So when I say back end, I mean the administrative end of your website. That's what back end means. The next term is breakpoint. Breakpoint describes the screen through which the user is accessing your internet. When you have a larger screen, the screen is going to display your content differently than someone who is viewing it on a tab. than someone who is visiting it on a laptop and on mobile phone, because their screens are different. The text, the content of your website are going to break at different point of the screen. Do you understand? Now, on a larger screen, it's going to break at different points. If you look at this, you will see that if you read the text on the screen now, you see break point. You will see that it breaks at toe, comes to the next line, and breaks out at layout. That's because I'm reading on a larger screen. If I am to be using a phone or something, probably this will have breakout at content. Do you understand? So that is what breakpoint means. It has to do with the screen size that views that access the website. Let's go to the next slide. Now, cache. Now, this caching is also called cache. What does cache means? It is a temporary data stored on your browser. For instance, if you access a website and the website uses cache, once you access the website is going to download its frequent data on your browser, so that when next you are accessing it, it's going to be easy for the website to load, because it's not going to be fetching it from the server again. Don't forget, it has already saved it on your browser. So once you just click it the next time, we just pick it from the browser and it will load at a very fast speed. So that is why cache is very important. When your website is slow, one of the solutions is using a cache, so that the only time it will be slow is the first time someone is viewing your website. So the moment you visit the website is going to download some information on your browser, so that the next time you visit, it's going to be easy for the website to load, because it's not going to be picking all the information afresh. Do you understand? That is what cache means. Call to action. Call to action simply means you giving a specific instruction for users that visit your website. For instance, fill this form to get this offer. Click here to download this free ebook. Click here to get your free email. Click here to get your free book. Fill this form to get a discount. Use this code for 30% discount. It's an instruction, a specific instruction that requires an action. Like when you started watching this video, I told you that you must watch to the end. This is a call to action. Watch to the end. Do you understand? It requires you an action to watch to the end. So that's what a call to action means. Cookies is a small file that includes an anonymous unique identifier and visit information that is sent from a browser, from a website, and stored on visitors' hard drive. This is what it means. When you visit a website, they will tell you they use cookies. If they tell you they use cookies, it means they are going to store an information on your website that tells them where you are from, what page you have visited, what information you like, and the things you prefer browsing. Just an information that it will be anonymous anyway. It's going to be anonymous. It's not going to be tied to your name, but it's going to store the information as per your own activity. It's a cookie. That's what they call cookies. So most websites uses cookie because it helps them to target you with adverts. Do you understand? So they can target people who visit this page, who did not visit this page, who check out this video, who did not check out this video, because cookies store your activity on your on a website. Do you understand? So let's go to the next slide. Content Management System, CMS. When I was starting up as a web designer, I was first a developer. I code with, I use PHP and all that. But along the line, I learned that using CMS is actually very easy. It's simple for me as a developer, and I just love it because most of my clients prefer the use of CMS. So what does CMS mean? Content Management System is a software system that allows you to create and manage a website. Do you see? When you build a website with CMS, it is easy for your clients to be able to manage the website themselves because it's user-friendly. They don't need to understand code. Do you understand? So building using CMS does not require any coding. That is why you see the likes of WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, and the likes growing, because people like to design websites with with CMS. So when we'll be designing our website that you can do within 10 minutes, we are going to be using a CMS. And the kind of CMS we'll be using, the type of CMS we'll be using is WordPress. WordPress is a sample of CMS. We also have different CMS. We have a lot. We have Joomla, we have Drupal, there are many, but one of the popular one is WordPress. So we'll be using WordPress as a CMS to design our website. What does conversion mean? Conversion happens when a user takes a specific action. Now, remember call to action. Call to action is just an instruction. The user may not follow the instruction. Most of you may not watch this video to the end. I have given you the call to action, but you did not take the action. Do you see that? So when you take an action, then conversion takes place. Do you see? A conversion happens when the user takes a specific action. For instance, you landed on a page and you read the story, and you now saw a place that the owner of the page is selling a product for 5k, and it tells you fill in this form to get this product for 5,000 naira, and you just leave the page. Do you understand? You leaving the page means you did not convert. You did not do what it wants you to do. So conversion happens when a user performs your specific action. The next term is CSS, cascading style sheet. What does CSS actually mean in real sense? When you have a house, probably you just rented an apartment and you park in. The structure is fine, but there are no paint, there are no lights, there are no blue bulbs. Do you understand? All those things that makes your room flashy. If you don't have them, you still have the room though, but your room is not as beautiful as your friend's room because you do not design, do not light it up. That is exactly what CSS does. When you have a website has a structure and also has the aspect that beautifies it. So if someone is telling you CSS, it means the aspect that beautifies the website. So if someone has a website and the website is not fine, it means the CSS is poor. They didn't use proper CSS, or whoever built it does not understand CSS. You can control the look and feel of the website using CSS. Do you understand? If you want the button to be large, if you want a font to be low, if you want a font to be big or a font to be small, you use CSS to do all that. As long as it's going to increase the beauty of your website, then you need CSS. The next term, DNS. What does DNS means? Domain name server. Now, if you have a domain name, every domain name comes with DNS. DNS allows you to control your domain name. You will understand this more when you watch the 10-minute website design video, where I walk you through how to design a complete website in 10 minutes. So DNS has to do with your domain name. Domain simply means an online address. Just the way we have offline address, that is just the same way we have it online. So if you want to have an address offline, it's that you rent the apartment, you rent the shop, or you rent the house. If you don't rent it, there's no way you can have it as an address. Before you have an online address, you must buy it. Just the way you buy offline address. You rent a house, you rent a shop, and after a year, you renew your rent. That is just the way it is online too. We buy a domain name, we buy the domain, and after a year, we renew it. If you don't want to renew your domain name after a year, someone else can buy the domain name. Do you understand? That is just the way it is too. So let's check the next term, favicon. When you check a website, see this place. You see this thing here? You see this thing here? Do you notice this small thing is what we call favicon? It's always on every website, but some people don't put it there. Do you understand? Maybe because they don't know or they don't know how to do it. A favicon helps you to stand out. When you open so many tabs and someone looks on the tab, he can easily see that, oh, this is the tab you are working on. If I see a Facebook tab by the favicon, I can tell it's Facebook. If I see Jumia by its favicon, I can tell it's Jumia. If I see YouTube, just looking at the favicon, I can tell it's YouTube. So you know the meaning of favicon. Do you understand? Now, front end. Remember I told you about back end, where the administrator, the owner of the website, controls the website. Do you understand? That's the back end. Like when you go to a stage and they tell you want to sing, you're not going to come through the front end. You will come through the back end, backstage. Do you understand? Before you even come to the backstage, they will have done makeup for you, blow you with fan, tell you some things, ginger you, put you in spirit, so that when you mount the stage, you flow. So you come to the back end. But what people are seeing on the stage is the front end. They are seeing you on the stage and they're, hey, for you. That is just the way it is. The website also have a front end and a back end. The back end is what the owner sees, and he uses it to control the front end. The front end is what you see. See, look at this YouTube now. What you are watching at the moment is the front end. The back end is different from what you are seeing. The look and feel of YouTube now, the back end is different. If I want to delete this video, I will delete it from the back end. I can't delete it from the front end. Do you understand? Just the way you cannot delete this video, but I can delete it from the back end. I have more control from the back end. I can bring this video down if I want, but I will only be able to do that from the back end. Do you get it? So the front end is what the user see. When you go to Jumia, what you are seeing is the front end. If you go to YouTube, what you are seeing is the front end. If you go to Facebook, what you are seeing is the front end. That is why it's easier for Facebook to log into the back end and delete somebody's account. They do that through the back end. They can lock you up so that you can't make comments, you can't make posts. You do all that in the back end. So now you understand that the back end is for administrative purpose. It is used to control the website, while the front end is what the user sees and interacts with. Let me show you an example of a front end. Do you see this? This is the front end. Do you see? This is the front end of my website, Nbase. Do you see how it looks? Yes, this place I post things on entrepreneurship and all that. This is the front end. Now let me show you the back end. Now this is the back end. See how the back end looks like. Here I can make posts, I can make pages, I can reply to comments, I can do all sorts of things. I can control the things you are seeing on the front end. Do you understand? So if you see another website, the front end will be different. Do you understand? And the back end might also be different if it's not using WordPress. But every website always have a front end and a back end, except it is a static website. What does it mean to have a static website? A static website is a website without back end. Let's put it that. You understand? Any website that does not have back end is a static website. It means it's not dynamic, nothing change. It's just like that. So if a website changes, or if a website has backend, it's no longer a static website. Next time, hosting. What does hosting means? When you have a host, it's just like having a land. Remember, domain is having an address, but host is having a land online. Just like the way you have a land offline, you can have a land for purpose of commercial, for private use, for planting, for anything. You have the land and you decide what you want to do with it. That is just the way it is online. You can decide to also have an online land, purchase a land on the internet. That land is what we call hosting. You can decide to build Jumia, you can decide to build social media platform, you can decide to build a blog, you can decide to do anything, you can decide to build a game on your online land. You can decide to build anything, just the way you can build anything on your offline land. That is just the way you can also build any website on your online land. So when I say online land, I mean hosting. Just like you buy 4 acres, 2 plots, 3 plots, 1 plot. Do you understand? You can also buy bigger land online. We have 3 gig, 10 gig, 20 gig, unlimited space. Do you understand? It depends on the purpose of the land. It depends on the purpose of the hosting. What do you want to use the host for? Somebody who is just trying to build a website for a cleaning service, we not need as much space like someone who is trying to build a website for teachers in Lagos State. A website that will accommodate data of all teachers in Lagos State must be a big and robust website. So you need more hosts. You need a larger host that will be able to accommodate that kind of facility, that kind of website. But if it is just a website for yourself, maybe for your brand alone, personal branding website, you need a small host. Do you get it? So when I say hosting, I mean online land. So let's go to HTML. HTML is just a language that is used to design website structure. If you be using WordPress, you don't need to understand what HTML means. People that use HTML are those who are building websites from scratch. However, you still need to understand a bit of it so you can do some modification to the structure of your website. So that is just what HTML means, hypertext markup language. So let's go to the next slide. HTTPS. HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. What does it mean? It means a protocol that is secure. What does protocol means? A rule of activity, a rule, a guideline of instruction, of communication. When we communicate online, when you communicate with a website, you send out protocol. When the website is responding to you, it responds to your protocol. So protocol is the language, is the rule that protects your information online. So if it is not secure, it means when you are communicating with the website, someone is able to hijack the message you send, and somebody is also able to hijack the message, the response of the website to you. Do you understand? So, but if it is secure, it means the protocol, the rule you are using is a secure route. Do you understand? It's a secure route. Do you get it? That's what HTTPS means. Information architect stands for your website navigation and blueprint. It means the structure of your website, how you place your navigations, menus, and all that. The next term is landing page. What does landing page mean? People that sell online will understand this. Now, landing page is different from building a website, but if you know how to build a website, the next skill you can probably develop on is building landing page. If you sell online, you need to understand how to build a landing page. A landing page is a single page that describes a purpose. Do you understand? It's either you are selling a service or you are selling a product or you are doing something, but it doesn't combine so many things. It's just one purpose. Do you understand? It is just a purpose, just one purpose. And use it for advertisement, social media marketing, anything. You can use it for anything. But it's a stand-alone page, just one page like this, and that page does a specific purpose. It can be for marketing, for advertisement, for promotion, for collecting leads, for setting up campaign, for anything. But it is just a page and it does one thing. Next time, lazy loading, a development optimization techniques that increases the speed load of your image and video. Lazy loading helps your website to load faster. Do you understand? So that people will not see video or image they don't need. So it is when they stroll that they will see the image. See, if you have a website and you don't use lazy loading, What happens is that when someone lands on that page, the page will try to download everything in it, thereby taking time and consuming the viewer's data. So next time they may not come because it's going to be slow. But if you use lazy loading, once the users land on the page on your website, it's going to show them where they are. It's not going to download any other thing below their screen. So when they scroll down, then it will now be downloading it. It will now be downloading it. Thereby, it will help the speed of your website. See what I'm saying? If you land on this page now, normally because it's using lazy loading and it has been cached, do you understand? It will be loading gradually. Meta tag. Meta tag is used by SEO. It helps to describe your website. Just like you get something to describe your personality, so a text that describes your website is stored into the meta tag. Do you understand? So when the search engine is coming to your website, it's going to go to the meta tag and fetch the information, because the information tells the search engine about your website. So navigation refers to your menus, your about us, your home page, how you place them, where you place them, your footer, your buttons, and all that. That's what navigation means. The next term is page speed. Page speed simply means a measure of time taking to load all the content on your page. So if the speed is shorter, it is better. So the shorter the speed to load your website, the better it is. The shorter the time to load your website, the better it is. Page template. Page template simply means a layout of the page. When you start working on themes, plugins, and all that, you will understand that in a moment. You have what we call page template. The next term is plugin. A plugin is a small piece of software that adds another functionality to your WordPress website. See, a WordPress website is a standalone software. It comes with basic features. There are some features that does not come with WordPress. So if you want to add those features to WordPress as per your need, you will need plugin. So plugin helps you to add additional functionalities to your WordPress website. So if you need anything at all to add to your WordPress website, it is a plugin. There is always a plugin that does that thing. So just look for a plugin that does that thing, install it into your website, and your website starts performing that function. Now, next term, propagation. When you do a change in your DNS, when you make changes, it takes time for that change to take effect. So that's what we call propagation in web design. So if you make a change and it doesn't appear immediately, it means it needs time to appear. That time is called propagation. Do you understand? It's just like when you plaster the floor, you cement your floor. It doesn't dry immediately. It needs time to dry. So that's what we call propagation period. It needs time. When you have a wound and a nurse comes to treat your wound, the wound does not heal immediately. It needs time to heal. That's what we call propagating period. So when you make change to your domain names too, it takes time for the change to take effect. So that time is what we call propagation time. Usually it's within 24 hours to 48 hours. And sometimes when you do it, it takes immediate effect. Within 5 minutes, you see the changes. But sometimes it takes 24 hours. I have done some changes that takes 5 minutes. I've done some that take effect almost immediately. And I have done some that took 18 hours, 24 hours, and thereabout. Registrar. What does registrar means? Registrar is a company that registers domain name. Do you understand? Just like if you want to buy a land, you go to people that sell land. If you want to buy a house, you go to realtor, real estate management, and all that. So if you want to buy a domain name, you go to registrar. So we have domain name registrar, we have hosting registrar, we have people that sell hosting, we have people that sell domain name, And we have registrars that sell domain and hosting. For example, Namecheap. Namecheap is a trusted registrar. They know what they are doing. As a matter of fact, you cannot go wrong with them. So if you want to buy a domain and host or any online service at all, I recommend you use Namecheap. You will find their link in the description below. Click the link, register, make purchase, and if you need any assistance, just let me know. Let's go to the next term, responsive design. You remember I made mention of this when we were talking about breakpoint. You see, so responsive design is a design that shows on all screen sizes. It shows on mobile, it shows well on mobile, it shows well on laptop, it displays well on desktop, it displays well on TV. It means it is a responsive design. If your website display on mobile and doesn't display well on laptop, it means it is not responsive. If it shows well on laptop, if it shows well on bigger screen but doesn't display very well, when you look at the design on smaller screen, the design are just started, it means it is not responsive. Let's go to the next slide. Search engine optimization, which is called SEO. This is something that makes your site visible on the search engine. Search engine, when I say search engine, it means Google, YouTube, things that people use to search online. We have a lot of them. We have yahoo.com, we have Google, we have Mamas, we have hacks.com. There are so many search engines. So search engine are websites that people use to search. For instance, if you want to ask anything, you probably go to google.com and you make your request. You ask whatever you want to ask. And Google will go and fetch websites that are likely to solve that problem. So search engine optimization is making your website ready so that search engine is likely to pick your website whenever anybody asks a question. The next term is server. A server is a dedicated computer where people store information, where they store their website. Remember I told you you bought a host. A host is online. Do you understand? And for it to be online, it means it's on the server. Do you understand? So, and the server you are buying can either be cloud or virtual. Do you understand? Physical or virtual. When I say physical, I mean a system. So a server is a system that is dedicated, do you understand, to keeping website. So every server you see, do you understand, has a host. It is that server that they now share for you. So a server is a dedicated system on which your websites are hosted. Do you understand? So when you say you buy a host, it means you buy a portion of a server or you buy the whole server. SERP. SERP stands for, the next term is SERP. SERP stands for Search Engine Result Page. These are pages served to users whenever they make search from Google. Do you understand? So when you search for something on Google, the pages that come up is what we call SERP. You understand? Whether you use Mama, you use yahoo.com engine results page. Slider. When you go to a website, the next term is slider. When you go to a website, you will see some slide on their home page. Images going and sliding. That's what we call slider. You may need to be using them on your website if you like them, but mind you, it had an extra bit of load to your website. This is how a slider looks like. Do you see? This is a website with a slider. Do you see? This is a slider. So if you like it, you put it on your website. Your client may desire it. So this is what they call a slider. Sitemap. Just like you have map for your state, for your country, a sitemap is a map for your website that describes, that shows where pages are on your website, that shows the navigation of your website. Just like you have an architect help you to draw your plan. So sitemap also tells Google where important pages are located on your website. The next term is SSL, Secure Socket Layer. If you have a website that does not have this SSL certificate, it means it is not safe. It is not secure. Now remember, we talked about HTTPS the other time. If you have a website that is sending through a secure protocol, there is going to be a certificate that will be issued to that website, which is called SSL certificate. You buy it. Do you understand? And sometimes there is a way you can also get it. So if your website has SSL certificate, it means it is secure. See how to know if a website has it. This is how to know if a website has SSL or not. See this website. Do you see it? See here. Do you see this lock? It means it has SSL. It is secure. Look at this one. Do you see? This one does not have SSL. Do you see it here? It means it is not secure. So that is the meaning of SSL. Now let's go to URL. That's the next term. URL means Uniform Resource Locator. It is a specific link on your website. It is not your domain name. It is a specific link on your website. When you send out your landing page link, it is a URL. It's not your domain name. Do you understand? Because it has more other text to it than just your domain name. So that is just what it means to. That is just what URL means. It is an identifier for a web page, for a specific web page. So let's go to the next term, user experience, which is called US. User experience means how much does your user enjoy using your website. If they enjoy using the website, it means the user experience is awesome. Some websites are very beautiful, but they are not easily enjoyed. They are not easily navigated. They just have everything clumsy. So that means their user experience is not palatable. They just put everything as if robot is the one visiting the website. Do you understand? If people enjoy coming to your website, the right information they need is located at the right place. The about us, everything is located at the right place. And when they come, they see what they want and they're happy. That means the user experience is awesome. So also, if you create a landing page, the things that people need, do you put it on the landing page? Do you place it where they need it? If everything is well placed, that means the user experience is good. But some people will design a website and people will not love to visit the website. You know why? Because it is not well designed. Next time, wireframe, a visual guide to show the structure and content of a web page without any design elements. Do you understand? We don't need much. We don't need much of this. We do not do much of wireframe in WordPress. But if you are building in web design, you still need to know what wireframe is. There's actually a software that is used for this sometimes ago. I don't use it again. So let's go to WYSIWYG. WYSIWYG means what you see is what you get. Just like Giggle, garbage in, garbage out. And it means what you see, whatever you are seeing yourself doing on the back end, everything you are doing with your Elementor, with your Thrive Architect, with all your page builders, all these things you are doing, that is the same way. That is exactly what you see on the front end. Now I have come to the end of this video. If there's a term I have missed, please drop it in the comment below so that others can learn. For watching. If you love this video, please do me a favor, hit the bell icon, subscribe, share, so that YouTube will know that this video is valuable. By that, they will help me to promote this channel. It will be a win-win thing, so I'll also be encouraged to do more quality videos for you. And if you have any question, do not forget to leave it in the comment below. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.